Mate, that wasn't awkward at all. We just missed a cut-off spot for the stuff. How you doing, Joe? Nice kind of Monday night stream. I mean, footy finished, 10 minutes ago, and then here we are. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, mate, it's been very good. Been a very, very good week of football. I'm sure it's been... Look, it was a bit hit or miss. The tipping this week was all over the shop. The Supercoach scoring was all over the shop. Let's just thank God this round is over and move on to the next one, but not before you get to celebrate a little bit because your boy's got a win.
I'm very happy. Very, very happy. You can clip that if you want. I don't even care. Yeah, we won. I'm happy. Sucked in. Obviously, people will say, oh, West Coast are missing players, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You play with what team you have, and then that's it, really. So, yeah, move on, I guess.
Bro, that was not holding the ball on Elliot Yeo. That was not holding the ball. Okay, I'm happy for you. But that was not holding the ball. I'm sorry.
Bro, if you go back and you watch what the call was with Elliot Yeo, and then you go back and then you watch what the AFL had put out this week in terms of this is what's called holding the ball from now on, it was textbook exactly the same as what Elliot Yeo did. He got the ball, he pulled it in towards himself, and then he got pinned, like straight up. I mean, Wardlaw should have got a free kick 2 seconds beforehand when the guy jumped over his head and put him into the floor. But before that, 100%, it was supposed to be holding the ball. Like, you watch it. You watch the video clip, the one that AFL put out during the week. It's the same. It's exactly the same.
Oh, the clip. I mean, he didn't drag it in. It's for me. Like, if you drag it in, then I'd say you. But I don't think he dragged it in. I think
the ball was out.
He tackled.
Here,
the ball came in here. He picks it up to tackle. He picks it up to get the handball off, and in the one fell motion of him picking it up,
dragged it back in and never got rid of it.
I wouldn't say he dragged it in. I wouldn't say he dragged it back. I'd say definitely the commentary definitely said that he dragged it back in. But from where I've watched at it, the ball spills from a tackle. He goes to pick the ball up to get a handball away, but in the instant that he picks the ball up, he's tackled. So if that's what we're going to deem holding the ball, then no one should try picking the ball up. No one should try picking the ball up.
That's what the AFL's deemed that holding the ball. So
yeah, like the AFL deems that holding the ball, then really don't try picking the ball up when you're on your knees. Because if you pick your ball up while you're on your knees, you've almost dragged it in. So just punch it out. Just kick it off the ground or slap it away. Like, if we're penalizing that for holding the ball, and then you've got so much more obvious ones that aren't being paid, it's just like, really? That we're doing that? But, oh, well. Congratulations to you boys. You managed to... He had to convert. Convert. Simpkin had to actually convert the shot, and convert he did. So well done to him.
Yeah. We do have some monster scores here in the chat, and Supercoach is open, Joe. So we can have a look
already.
Yeah, man. Supercoach is open. I know what I've done this week. Maybe I'll do a thing afterwards talking about North Melbourne, but Supercoach is open at the moment. So this week and next week are the hardest weeks of Supercoach. Purely for the fact that a lot of us don't have a full team playing. So keep that in mind, everybody, when you make your trades and whatnot. And have fun, really, because it's going to be a painful one for a lot of people. If you can get 18, fantastic. You're doing better than half the competition. So,
oh, yeah. Look at that. Dreezy. Well done, mate. Lucky swap to Gawn at the last minute, because the difference between Max Gawn and Nick Dacos was probably the defining reason why I won some of my league matchups this week.
Yep. Yeah, same for me too. It was this morning, and I'm just like, oh, Nick Dacos, maybe not, maybe yes. And then Goodwin's come out and said, yep, we're going to tag him. And that was enough for me, really. It was a bit of a tough one, but sucks for those people, I guess. And there goes their rankings a little bit. They were some monster rankings this week. Crazy to think. I look at my team, Joe, and I'm probably the same for yours. There's a lot of very good Freo and Port Adelaide players who are our best scorers every week. So to miss them and still score well is pretty good.
Correct. And obviously having Dacos 64, if the Dacos captain was not even matching Max Gawn base score, so that's a massive miss there. So poor Harry. I think Harry seems to have been caught with the Dacos C, so that's a little bit unfortunate there for you, Harry. G'day, Velo. Happy we kicked the Pretenders from the top 4 this week. Mate, I was a little bit worried when you were saying Pretenders. I thought you were going to say maybe us were Pretenders, potentially. But wow. Now, the Cats had a really strong start against the Swans. I wouldn't say that they're Pretenders.
Yeah. Yeah, the Cats are been a bit of a weird situation, man. I was talking to Magic, our friend off air, and just kind of the position that they're in is a really tough one. They're trying to keep up with the top 8, keep up. Obviously, their ladder position now is really good, but there's so many players and teams chopping at their heels that you kind of have to rebuild on the fly, right?
That's true. That's very true. J Money, yeah, it was a very good win for the Pies. I thought there'd be some fire in the belly for Melbourne. I thought they'd show some ticker. I thought they'd come back with a vengeance. And look, it was a bit similar to Essendon last night. They got some field position. They got inside 50s. They had shots on goal. But again, they just didn't capitalize on a few of them. Some of them were tough for sure compared to the Pies, who definitely had that rebounding game style that really worked and took advantage of the fact that there was no Lever. So Lever being out really meant May had a really tough matchup on Hoskin Elliott, who probably played the best game of his life almost today. Yeah. So that was a very impressive win for the Pies for sure.
Yeah, I think so too.
Flanders for the VC. Mate, I literally had the sneaky VC of Flanders during the week. I literally had the sneaky VC. But in the end, it's just like, but he's never gone over 130. He's never gone over 130 before. Should I do it? And then I ended up getting cold feet, even though I knew he was going to do well. 152, mate. A 152 and other people have Dacos with 64. That's unreal. That would have seen a lot of high rankings for sure. Travis, how's it going, Trav? Hope you're doing well, bro. Andrew, I thought you said Hippie is a dud. Hipwood is a dud, but he managed to play his one good game for the year, honestly. Like, I have no idea how Eric Hipwood pulled that out. He just had a wonderful game against the Bulldogs. He ate them alive. The Bulldogs aren't great defensively. They rely so much on Liam Jones to do a lot of the heavy lifting. He has saved them time and time again, but it was just too much. The combination of Danaher and Hipwood, a bit too much for that Bulldogs defense. So,
I mean,
congratulations to Hipwood.
Yeah, Keith was out for a little while as well, I think. So they just can't. It's at some point it becomes too much, and obviously they've kind of had that a little bit this week.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, they're relying on O'Donnell and Keith. You know what I mean? Like it's pretty tough. G'day, Jen. Hope you're doing well. Congrats on the win today. Frankie, evening, guys. Evening to you, Frankie. I had track and the C on day.
Yep. Oh, mate, there's a lot of stinker scores this week. I tell you what. And yeah.
Look, Petrarca did well though. Petrarca did well for
the time that he played.
You know what I mean? For the time that he played and the difficulty that he had to play with. You know, we don't know obviously the extent of that rib concern, but he was put on the stretcher, was taken to the hospital during the game. So clearly he was in a world of hurt. For him to manage to claw himself to a 64, obviously the scaling, you know, he kept getting scaled up. But for him to finish on a 64 on 40% game time is, he could have been a lot worse, Frankie. Obviously going to have to sit and wait and see how long he's going to be out for. And then going to make a call on whether or not he's a trade or not. So that's pretty tough.
Agreed.
Velo got 4 out of 8 in the tipping, better than last week's 2 and Supercoach can get stuffed. I only got 1848.
Let me see. Let me see how many I got this week.
I got 1903 this week.
How many tips did I get right? I got one
All the
wrong,
tips.
2 wrong, three wrong. So I got 4. No, I got 5. 5 right? 5 right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 right. So we'll take it.
5.
Yeah.
5 out of 8 is very good.
Yeah, missed. I didn't tip North Melbourne. I know that's a bit sacrilegious, but I didn't tip North Melbourne. I didn't tip Richmond, and I didn't tip Collingwood. They were my 3.
I think I only got the 3 this week. 2024 tipping. What did I get? I got 3 this week. Yeah, I got the 3 this week.
I have moved up to 4th in our work comp, so I'm very happy.
Very nice. I'm 5th in a personal comp. 1 tip behind second. Nah, I'm 1 tip behind second, but the guy in first, Zio Puff, he is on 79. He's ahead of me by 5 tips, so I think I can give up on that tipping competition.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'm going to make up 5 tips.
Yeah, I'm 2 behind first.
Good luck next week, Big J. You are going to need it. Oh, why?
Probably.
Are North playing Collingwood next week?
Yep. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
It's going to be fun, but that's all right. That's football, right? So, we take from what we can. Hopefully LDU and a few other players do well, and we'll see what happens. Small wins. We take the small wins as they come.
Yeah, for sure. Cheese, how's it going, Cheese? 21-02. Great score.
Monster score this week.
Golden 157 and on debut. VC Grundy. Wow, mate. The Swanee boys came in clutch for you, Cheese. Well done.
He's done well, I'll tell you what.
But it's worth getting for a last mid spot. For sure he's worth getting. Absolutely he is. Unbranded. G'day. Very on brand. Harry. G'day, Harry. I had Flanders VC. Oh, well done. Well done. That's so good.
Yeah. There's a lot of people this week who are like, mate, Grundy VC really carried a lot of people. Grundy VC, Flanders VC. I mean, I was lucky. I felt bad about probably not picking Flanders. I think St Kilda versus anyone's stocks is probably a good shout, but anyone's halfback stocks is probably a good shout. But you kind of just, if you can pick the second best scorer on field that you've got this week, I think I'm okay.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Legend. Thank God we have the bye next week. I don't think I could watch another Melbourne game and stay sane.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I guess kind of the sorry, Joe, I cut you off.
No, go for it. Keep going.
I was just going to say it's the right time for the bye. Let yourself recharge, go through track, potentially comes back. Max Scorn's been a legend for us, and perfect time for him to kind of come through the bye as well. So, yeah, not too bad.
Man, I legit was sitting there watching this game, and I'm like, why am I getting such a strong sense of deja vu? What did you get again? Like, I'm watching this game, I'm like, oh, Melbourne missed again. Melbourne missed again. Yeah. Melbourne missed again. Collingwood goal. Melbourne missed. Collingwood goal. It's just like, why do I feel like I'm watching Essendon Carlton all over again? Like, it was so ridiculous.
Mate, it was like West Coast as well. They were
West Coast as well.
2-15 against us this week. So obviously our game was a bit skewed that way. But when you go 2-15, you struggle. So yeah, goal kicking's a really important point and a really important part of winning AFL. You have to know how to kick goals, Joe. So if you can't do that, you're in a big trouble.
Yep, absolutely. Ricky Lol, g'day Ricky. I'm seeing a lot of Zorro fan there from One Piece. 1880 here with only 1 mid and 1 defender.
Oh, Ricky, that sucks.
I mean, I don't think my premiums really popped off. I mean, they costed crap. Sheasel was okay. Fisher was okay. Whitfield was okay. Bond didn't ton. LDU tonned. Merritt tonned. Look at Merritt, bro. 120. What did Merritt score? 125 with a hard tag if you don't mind. Captain Inspirational. Rao didn't ton. Miller didn't ton. Green didn't ton. English is a fraud. Zorko didn't ton. I had quite a few not tunning as well. A bit more than 1 mid and 1 defender.
So I know it's not consolidation for a lot of people, but round one, like rank 1 this week, scored a 22.60. And can you guess, Joe? So 22.60. Can you guess where this guy, and maybe it is like around 13 team, right? Maybe they made it so that works. But can you guess what his overall rank is this week? Like, so not 22.60. So 22.60 was number 1 score. Do you know what his overall ranking is?
All right, just on the fact that you're asking me this question, it's going to be something ridiculously low. So I'm going to say, how many people are playing Supercoach this year? Out of 179,000. All right, so I'm going to say he's ranked 120 odd thousand.
So he's ranked 82,000.
Okay.
So the guy that's number 1 this week is 82,000. So Supercoach is a bit of luck. Don't worry about it. Like, his team's not terrible, but yeah,
it's not too bad.
Very, very highly ranked.
Oh, are we still buffering? I hope not. I hope we're not buffering. Oh yes, all that. Noah, g'day Noah. Sorry to everyone who has day costs. I traded him in this week, so it was probably my fault. Sorry.
I think he'll be all right. Someone was asking. Someone here was up about do we trade day costs? And I'm like, yeah, probably not. As Joe said to me off air, apparently he's got a corky, so it's not going to be too bad.
Yeah, apparently Collingwood have said at the game that it was a corked calf, which is the reason why he came off the ground. He was getting some rubbing on there, but look, we'll see. If it's just a corky, he should be fine to come back next week. And I don't really want to trade him out, only to have him come back and score 130s again. So, I'm happy to hold on to him, that's for sure. Sports Nut, g'day Sports Nut, mate. The Hawkers. Shame on me for tipping against the Hawks. They are the real deal. Can we push for the 8? However, it's going to be super tough with that percentage. Got to win this week. Mate, just got to win every week. Do the best you can, bro. And you're looking in great form. Velo should have taken Heaney VC. Oh, Heaney VC. I mean, Heaney's going 116. Yeah, it's one of those cuck scores, isn't it? 116. You wouldn't have taken a 116, would you, Big J?
Probably not. Let's be honest, probably not. It really depends. Like, if let's pretend it's the game before the last game of the week, and then, you can kind of see what the average is. Like this week, I had a lot of players who did not score over 100. If that's the case for yourself, then throw it on there. But it's hard to miss out on someone from the Collingwood matchup. So,
have Melbourne ever used Neil Bullen as a tagger before? Like, that was a really hard tag. Have Melbourne ever done that before?
I'm not sure. Maybe someone, if there's a Melbourne fan in the chat, can let us know. But it really did feel like, as you say, Joe, like a real hard tag that just, couldn't be shaken. So, maybe something they're toying with, or something they're trying to figure out as to what, this actually works for us in terms of, I was going to say in terms of Supercoach, but what worked for us in terms of actual game plan.
Yeah, for sure. Patrick, not one of my mids scored over 100 this week. Oh,
that sucks.
That's one.
Yeah. I mean, Bont, if you look at it, right, Bont didn't score over 100. Steele didn't score over 100. Took Miller, Green didn't score over 100. Who else?
You might already own Butters and Sarong, and they're on the buy.
Yeah. And then, maybe I think Noah Anderson didn't score that well either this week. So it's pretty doable. That, like, last week is crazy to think that best 18 in a week that isn't, only 2 teams missing. People were easily scoring 2,100, 2,200. And then now it's coming to a week where, cool, you're only missing 2 teams and people struggle to hit 2K. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jono Carroll,
What's up, John?
mate. If you haven't, head on over, sub to Saint Binger Supercoach. It's right there in the brackets. G'day, John. I hope you're doing well. Congrats on being gifted that win against the Gold Coast Suns. Happy I missed the Will Dawson trade. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Will Dawson subbed out on a 0. Oh, no.
Yeah. It sucks. I was tossing and turning, putting him in this team. I went Hutchinson instead, which could end up being a bad pick or a good pick. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, it's a real tough one. Those people who brought him in, I think he made 20K, and I don't know the extent of the injury yet, but I don't think he's going to end up playing for much longer. It was on the cusp of playing anyway, let's be honest, with Cal Dawson back and the way that our defense is looking like bench player at best. And then, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate. A lot of people went very, very early on him, which hurt. That's all I'm going to say.
So this 82 ranked player,
he has no port or what was it saying? No port or I know he does have a couple of Freo people. He's got Nat 5. Like, it could be a legit team, but maybe not.
That's the round 12 points. Wait, how do you see the winner?
You go back.
So I don't see that for the week.
If you check DR's chat, it's in there.
Yeah, I know DR's chat's popping up because people are saying that it's a team that's just been built just to win this week because it's got no.
Well, I mean, like it's a viable strategy, right? I'm not saying for anyone in the chat to go and do it, but to win the 50K is really tough. So if you can make a team that works really well across the bye round, like just say, cool, my team kind of sucks, but round 14, when everyone else is really struggling, I'm going to load up on all the other players, all the Adelaide, Brisbane, whatever. You're winning.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, G-Bags, mates.
What's up, mates?
Much love, brother. Much love. Looking at trading out Clary. Should I wait a week for Noah Anderson or Zach Merritt, or trade him out this week for LDU or Hayden Young? Already have Sarong. Am I seeing double? Did you do this again?
I think accidentally he might have pressed it twice. Sorry, G-Bags. We'll see about figuring that out for you.
So double love, G-Bags. Double love. We'll show it twice. We'll show it twice.
Yeah.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah. Should I wait for week
Clary
in Anderson or Merritt? Yeah, it's a tricky one. I don't know what the extent of Petrarca's injury is going to be. So maybe he's a wait. It really comes down to yourself, really. LDU looks good. Hayden Young's been going well. Out of the two, I do like the Hayden Young pick, I hate to say. It's just that LDU's really inconsistent. Like, the last 3 weeks have been fantastic, but something happens, maybe there's an attitude change or an injury or something like that, and bang, he's gone back to the crappiest scoring that we've seen, during the season, and the reason why he ended up being like 5-10K. So, yeah, Hayden Young seems to be around the mark and has been scoring well. And it's also matchup dependent a little bit as well. And if you're going by matchup, maybe the LDU pick's the right way to go.
Yeah.
Sorry for not being more helpful.
Jeez, I'm trying to load up bloody Supercoach's break-evens here because everyone seems to be on Supercoach at the moment.
Yeah, that's
Clayton Oliver.
What's
Clary's break-even? 122 Clary break-even. He's on the bye this week.
Yep.
He's at 498K. The thing is, Merritt is on the bye as well. Anderson's on the bye. So obviously no point trading to those guys. Trading him out for an LDU. Look, I like Hayden Young. I agree with you. Hayden Young is good. We know what his role is. And I think we like LDU as well. I think both of them are fine. If you're not sure which one to go for, which one is the cheaper one? Hayden Young is 535. LDU is 596 without DPP. So go with Hayden Young, I reckon. I agree with what Big J said. Sim, evening, Jen. So tilted with fantasy at the moment. Oh, that's rough. Mate, just do it for the fun. Do it for the fun and love of the game. You scored 20-34, bro. That's a very good score this
Not
week.
bad. Not bad.
20-34 is a good score. Jen scored 17-94 with Dacos and Track, both subbed, and Dacos with the C. Yeah, like,
Nice, Jen.
what can you do? What can you do? But she still has Grundy, which I wish I did. I wish I had Grundy and not this fraud English.
It's like me with Tom Green still in the team.
Oh,
Bloody hell.
yeah.
Does my head
1852
in,
this
this
week.
boy.
Flanders is VC. Sexton was robbed of 120 plus. Dacos was a waste of trade. Grundy the GOAT. Late
Yep.
Fisher trade worked out, but none of it matters when my flag roos got the W.
I know. Hey!
Flag roos. It's happening. It's happening. Sim up the Kangas. Hey, on your causa. On your causa. Congratulations, mate. They got Izzy. Izzy scored a 20-63
Did
with
very
Grundy
well.
VC.
Did very well.
Yeah, if you scored over 2,000, that's a very good score this week. Sim traded in the North Melbourne Dawson this week. A lot of people did.
Yep. A lot of people did. And there were just real questions about him, to be honest. Like role and positioning and durability. Not durability so much, but viability in the team. Like he ended up being a little bit on the fringes just with Cal Dawson coming back. If Dawson wasn't back, this is K Dawson, not W Dawson, but if Cal Dawson wasn't back, I think things would have been a bit different for him. Unfortunately, he has been injured and probably will end up getting relegated to the VFL when he comes back.
Jen, chucking the VC on Grundy next week against Adelaide.
Oh, mate, 100%. 100%.
I mean, will Riley O'Brien be back? Have they learned their lesson?
I doubt it. Was he injured or was it just form?
No, Rob was dropped. He was just dropped. He went to go work at Hungry Jack's again for the week.
How bad did it feel for Strawn though? That he
had to get injured.
Got injured. Like how distraught did he seem on field? This guy been relegated to the VFL for so bloody long. I mean, it's the Sandford, but it's basically the same thing. Being relegated to the reserves league for so damn long. Bided his time, finally got a shot, injured halfway through the game. Like, come on, man. That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, you can chuck the VC on Grundy. He is in terrific form, but for me, I'm chucking the VC on Zorko on Friday night at home at the Gabba against the Saints.
Yes.
That to me is
just fun.
Can't wait for that one. 100%. Yeah.
There's a couple of others as well. I think Rankin's coming back and he might have a good matchup, and a few other players as well. So there's definitely some options this week.
Yeah. Cheese, I need 3 forward premiums. That forward line is absolutely killing me up.
Yep.
Yes, you're preaching to the choir, Cheese.
Let's pretend Rankin's back, right? So what is Rankin's break even? That's probably the big thing. We know the scoring's there.
552 with a break even of 57.
Yeah, this guy was so cheap. So he'll be more expensive again. I think he'll go okay against Sydney. Sydney being a bit of a powerhouse. I'm not sure what his scoring is going to be like, and post injury as well. But when the coach and the team's basically saying he's ready to go, you can hopefully take that with a grain of salt a little bit, I think.
Yeah. Rankin is shut. He's got the Swans though, and the Swans are obviously no easy beats. The thing with him is because if he's going to be playing, I guess it depends on the approach that the Adelaide Crows are going to take with him. Are they going to throw him right back in the middle again to play that centre bounce midfielder?
You would think that he keeps the same role, right? That he does not going to change his position.
Unless they ease him in and they play him more forward as they work him back into the game.
That's true.
Because you don't want to re-injure him. He's just done a hammy. You don't really want to re-injure him straight away. So it's possible that they might play him more forward and potentially have Rankin running through the midfield more. You just don't really know. And then he goes on his bye anyway. So I reckon you could wait a week, personally.
Probably.
Nathan, what happened to Dacos? Is he a trade? He copped a corky to his calf, apparently, is what Colin would have said. So we'll wait and see, but I don't think he's a trade. If it's just a corky, he should be fine for next week. And Jen's a Collingwood supporter, as you can see. She says he should be fine. What happened to Will Dawson? I didn't catch what happened to him.
Did his shoulder really, really early into the game. I don't know if it's an AC joint or if that information's come out yet, but did his shoulder really, really, really quick into the game. So
yeah, I saw him in a sling.
He got subbed off straight away. 10% game time. Done.
Yikes! 10% game time.
Yeah.
Joe knows One Piece. God, I love this man, mate. Cheese, I love you more, brother. I love you more. Big
and who doesn't know one?
Manga fan. Yeah, if you don't know One Piece, like, come on, bro. You got to know One Piece. Surely you got to know One Piece. It cleared up after I posted. All good now. Okay, good. So the buffering is gone. Good to know. Sim is saying Sunday game next week versus North, so a good game to rest.
Yep.
Oh,
saying
about Dacos?
Yeah, maybe. It's something that they're going to try and play around with, I think, this week. If he's not going to be fit and ready to go, why would you play him, potentially get further injured? I mean, North Melbourne's a brutal team, and, we're going to push to Collingwood and take it to them. And it's Marvel Stadium, our home ground. So, we're going to dominate the Pies. But, yeah, if there's no risk of injury, no risk to really losing the game, why would you risk it, really?
Yeah, fair enough. Charlie's asking if Jai Simpkin is an option.
No, I don't think so.
Why not? He's a forward mid. He's cheap, 361k.
Just don't.
What was his centre bounces like?
Just don't do it to yourself. That's all I'm going to say.
Let's have a look at the centre bounces. Let's just let's share the screen. You know what? We've been talking for half an hour and we still haven't shared screen. That's going to be a record for us. So if we come here and we're looking at Simpkin, Jai Simpkin. Let's have a look at Jai mother flipping Simpkin, mate. What's he done? He's got good tog. He's getting some decent CBAs.
Look,
obviously
it would be interesting to see what his score would have been if he didn't kick the goal with like 2 minutes left to go. Like, he probably finishes on an 80, and then we're not having this conversation. So don't do it to yourself.
Correct. You got a lot of scaling for that goal. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Charlie's asking best defender picks.
It's a tricky one, mate. I'm playing around with my team at the moment, and I might just swing Fisher to the back line and just say, cool, that's it, really. There isn't a lot of amazing defender picks, but let me kind of just see what we're doing with the side.
Yeah, Houston's got a tough matchup against GWS this week. He's going to plummet in price. Luke Ryan.
Yeah, sorry. No, keep going. I was just trying to say, I think from now on, it's something I'll talk about in my team review video, but I think from now on, because there's only, 10 games of AFL left for a lot of teams, make sure that you factor in matchups versus it just being a good player. Factor in who's got the best run for the next 10 games. Who's got this? Who's got that? Who's going to be playing well? Things like that when it actually comes to picking your primos. Because there's no point bringing in the best player, but they're playing like the top 10 for the next 10 weeks. It's really going to kill you. So don't risk it. Don't do it. It's not the best thing to be looking at. It can really, really, really hurt.
Yeah, for sure. So you're looking at players who have come off the bye. So any of the Port Freo guys, Luke Ryan is still at $666,000. That's still quite expensive. It's ridiculous at this point of the season. Hello, I've pressed the buys. There you go. Buys 2024. So if the picture would load already. So I like Jordan Clark, someone who isn't going to break the bank. If you haven't got Houston already, then potentially Jordan Clark might be also a decent option. I mean, looking at the other buy teams still to come, you wouldn't be looking at Ridley. You wouldn't be looking at Martin, Stewart, obviously on the buy.
I do want Ridley in my team.
McGovern on the buy, but he's not cheap either. You could be looking at an Ed Richards, but he'll have the buy next week. So what's Ed Richards? What's his break even like? Richards, 543 with a break even of 124. So it's not like he's going to get away from you if you wait to get him after his buy. You could look at maybe a Sinclair or an Isaiah potentially, but again, like I said, they've got the buy next week. Sinclair, 76 break even, but he's playing against Brisbane up at the Gabba. He's at 553k. Last time he scored 116 and a 118. So it's not like he's going to get away from you. He'll only go up 16k. He'll still be attainable. Wanganeen, 545, 126 break even. So again, no one is an absolute must-have to get at this point that's going to get away from you. You can afford to wait. But if you want the best ones, even someone like mentioned before, Hayden Young, 535k, 109 break even. No one's getting away from you. Is basically the bottom. But the gist is no one is getting away from you. You can essentially pick who you want. A lot of people are between that 535 to 580 price point. You don't have to break the bank. Obviously, Luke Ryan just appears to be D1 by the length of Flemington Straight. So you'd love to get him in, but at $666,000, can you afford him whilst being able to finish the rest of your team? If you can, then go for it.
Do it, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a crazy one. Oh. I have a question for you, Joe.
Yes.
Is it crazy for me to trade out Walsh and Miller this week?
Yeah, I think it is. Why? What are you trying to do?
I'm just looking at trading out. Well, I'm sick of these like crappy scores.
Sick of crappy scores.
No,
I mean,
more
if we look
crappy.
at Tuke's run to come.
Yeah, but I know it's going to come back and bite me in the butt, right? I know it is because there's a few winnable games in there for Tuke Miller.
Yeah,
but the ball's just running straight past him. Like his projected. Look at that projected score. If he's popping out 90s, and I think that's generous for a few of these teams, then he's not a forward keeper. Like he's not a keeper for me anymore at this point. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be nice to have a boost and be able to do something else, but like, is he really keeper status? I don't know.
I think he is. I mean, what did he score? 137 against Adelaide, 115 against the Dogs. Yeah, the Hawks aren't an easy beat. 133.
His last best game was against North Melbourne, and then 2 weeks ago against West Coast. And then before that, 3 weeks ago against Hawks. And every other game's been like a 90. Like,
yeah,
he's not been scoring well at all.
Yeah, it's true. You could, if you're gonna end up doing something better though to improve your team. We don't have. I was going to bring in
Neil and Goulden.
Neil and Goulden.
Yeah.
That is classic point chasing if I've ever seen it.
A little bit, but if they're scoring well, why not?
Who are the two people I want? I want the two people who win 130 plus this week.
Just do it.
Just do it. Fair enough. You can if you want to. Do we trade? Congratulations. Yeah. Up to 177 overall. Well done, Liam. Yeah, absolutely killing it, mate.
And do we trade in Jackson? Godfather for getting into the top 100 again. So.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Do we trade in Jackson to cover Rucks over the next two buys? Jackson is a fraud. The person that you're getting to cover is Nathan Kruger. That's your cover right here.
No, don't do it.
Yes, that's what I'm doing. I'm
He can't
bringing
cover
in
the next 2 weeks of
Nathan
buys, though.
Kruger.
You only cover Max Gawn this week. That's it.
That's fine.
No, don't do it.
He's gonna score very well against your boys.
No, he won't. He's gonna score shit.
He scored 76 against Gawn. Nathan Kruger is the answer. Nathan Kruger, mate.
How many points of that were from? Let me pull up the stats. How many points of that were actually hit outs and stuff, though, or things he did around the ground?
7 marks.
So he kicked 3
goals.
Tackles.
Joe, 3 goals.
He kicked 3 goals. He didn't score 76 on Max Gawn. He kicked 3 goals.
Against Melbourne backline.
Yeah, but it's not on Max Gawn.
True. It's not on Max Gawn. It's on freaking whoever he was manned up on in defense for Melbourne. Yeah. What is he gonna? If he can kick 3 goals on Melbourne, what's he gonna kick against North?
We're fine. North Melbourne's gonna win.
I'm gonna bring in Kruger this week. I don't care. Kruger is the answer. I reckon.
He's not on the bye round though. So are you okay with taking him for a week and then having a bye? Do you think he's going to stay around? Is that kind of the idea?
I think so. I mean, what's Collingwood's injury list like? I'm pretty sure they've still got an extended.
I think Mason Cox is out for a while.
Yeah, exactly. If I go to injury list and I scroll down to Collingwood. All right, so Beggs out for the season. Cox 5 to 7 weeks. DeGo is still out for 3. Hoskin Elliott played. McCrae still is out. Myercheck with a hammy, he's still out. So he should still hold his spot, I think. He played very well today. He was a handful in the forward line and kicked 3 goals against Melbourne. So if he can kick 3 goals on Melbourne, I think he can at least match that against North Melbourne. Jen, what do you reckon, Jen? Is Kruger holding his spot in that Collingwood team? I personally think he should. Oh, there you go. There you go. She's telling us that he's going big. Kruger with the love heart eyes. He's going big. Let's go. I love it.
For me this week, it would be Kruger or bringing in Dowling. They're the 2 players that I'm looking at.
True. Dowling is also the other one. Yes.
Dowling is the other one. And we might get two rookies or 2 downgrade options a bit later. So, yeah.
I think in round 14 or round 15, I reckon Sadal Hole will get a game. He played unbelievably well in the VFL. 4 goals.
He got injured. Do you need to get injured?
He copped an ankle thing during the game in the last quarter, but after the game, there was no ice after the game. He was walking around. He seemed to be okay after the game.
I'm just reading something here for all you Nick Dacos owners like myself and Joe. Nick Dacos was substituted out midway through the 4th quarter. Blah, blah, blah. Season low 15 disposals, by Alex Neil-Bullen. Craig Mccrae expects the player to be available this Sunday against North Melbourne.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
He got tagged heavily and then caught a corky in his shin. So he'll be fine. It's up to the others to step up. I wouldn't have thought he's in doubt for Sunday.
Oh, my God. Where's Jonas to mock Nick Dacos for injuring his shin? So you had, again, all these jokes that he makes about Setterfield. Now Setterfield has done his knee.
Yeah, where are you, mate? There you go. Where are you?
West Coast Eagles rules.
He's going to be not in the chat this week, is he?
He has not surfaced this week. West Coast Eagles rules. Oh, no. Oh, no. Hectic Lebo, how are you, Habibi?
Your score was very good. You beat people by 250 points.
Unreal. Props. Yeah, Neil-Bullen, mate. For someone who hasn't tagged in the last 2 seasons, for him to do the job that he did on Nick Dacos, wow. Unbelievable. Very impressive. Patrick, I have Butters, Sarong, Steele, Oliver, Green, Walsh, Rowell. Yeah, that is the 0-ton midfield right there. The 0-ton midfield. Unbelievable. Sim, teams who aren't registered pre-round 1 aren't eligible for round wins.
I think this was going back to what I was talking about, like the team that's winning for this week. And I think it is, he would have been registered round 1. Like, I don't think he would have made his team for just now. I think it's more a case of just, like, not bringing in players from those rounds. Like, not caring about your team, your primos that you have, just making it happen. So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I saw. Report. That's the report that you were talking about. So,
yeah,
about Craig Mccrae expecting the Nick Dacos to be available this week. So, yeah, very exciting. Fingers crossed that we can see a good one. But he's probably going to cop Shields anyway this week. So it's not like it's necessarily going to be incredible anyway. Frankie had Will Dawson with track and CF. It's rough, bro. It's a rough game that we play. Causa scored only 19-17, went up 3K ranks only. Yeah, mate, I'm the same. I scored 1903 and I only moved up 882 spots. So now I'm a clean, even 18K. Perfect number, 18,000. Ah, mate, it's tough. What to do with my Tommy Stewart, bro? I don't even know, man. Tom Stewart.
It's a real problem. We're speaking to our friend Magic off air about this, and look, Tom Stewart's getting older and getting older every week and getting older by the year, obviously, like everyone else is. And Geelong has pushed past him a little bit. They're saying, cool. When SDK came into the team, it really did feel like he was, the start of the end for a Tom Stewart. Now, last year was great, whatever, but it does feel like a Max Holmes has started to steal some of his points. Guthrie has started to steal some of his points. And SDK doing the same thing. And the avenues for scoring just aren't there for him. So it's a real trouble, and it's what he's been dealing with for the last couple of weeks. So, yeah, hence all the poor scores. Like, he'll be really good and then just fade away a little bit, which is really sad to see. One of those stalwarts in our backlines for many, many years.
Yeah. I mean, just look at the average disposals, I guess. I mean, when he started to do really well in, say cracked 100 or maybe close to 100 in 2019, he was averaging about, say, 25 disposals a game.
Mm-hmm.
He was averaging 25 disposals a game and 7 marks.
Yep.
The next year, he's averaging about, say, 19 disposals, 7 marks a game. Following year, he's averaging 23 disposals and then 9 marks a game. 24 disposals, 7 marks.
Mm-hmm.
23 disposals, 8 marks. This year, he's barely cracking 20 disposals and only the 5 marks.
Yep.
So clearly the game. Yeah, exactly. It's just not been to the same standard that we've seen the previous years. He's not the one that's just all play going through him. In all these previous years, it was all play would go through Tom Stewart. If you did not pass the ball to Tom Stewart, you were getting dropped the following week. He was the backline. He was the commander, the director, and all play went through him. This year, it's being shared. He's still taking kick-ins. We can still see, but it's not that monopoly that it was before.
Yeah.
He's got 53 kick-ins. Guthrie's taken 35. Duncan's taken 24. Like, on the weekend, in the past, let's have a look at previous years. Let's look at this. 4-6, 4-2. In previous years, you would see
it was only Tom Stewart.
Tom Stewart almost double Zach Tui, who was second. In 2022, Tom Stewart, this was close with Zach Tui, actually. That's not too bad. Zach Tui has always been a freaking kicking thief.
Just think about it, right? It would be like if Luke
Yeah,
Ryan
always.
lost his kick-outs. And then Hayden Young went back to the back line. And then Jordan Clark now played back line as well. Like, of course, the scoring is going to go down. And it makes sense, right? You look at a Geelong. Tom Stewart's not young. Like,
No.
and Geelong had a lot of old players in a lot of positions. They need to blood the youth, and they need to be able to, be competitive for the longest amount of time. So, yeah, it's just understandable that there is that kind of fall off at the moment.
Yeah. So, is he going to be a top 6 to 8 defender? It doesn't.
Sure.
It doesn't appear to be that way.
No.
And what's Tom Stewart priced at now? Tom Stewart, 466. 466. What other defenders filter?
I don't know if you can even get anyone, really.
Defender. I want someone who is at least 450 for 400k in the back line with a decent average. Ridley. But he's on the boy this week.
How much is Ridley?
Rids, he is 563, 900.
Oh, he's expensive, mate.
He is now.
Yeah. I wanted him to. I thought he had one more week before the bye, but I guess not.
If we're looking for pure value, say between 400.
If you're looking for pure value, how much is Kristen Salem? He's probably the one you're forced to pick up now.
He's on the buy, though.
Yeah, I know, but like, forget about the buy. If you want to offload him, Salem's the player. Like, that's the player that you need to bring in. Everyone else is too expensive now. It sucks, but
could it be Nick the Lizard Blakey?
No, you're not bringing in Nick Blakey. Come on, Joe.
What's wrong with Blakey?
Fans to go up. We want our fans to go up the ladder. We don't want our fans to fall down.
Nick Blakey, the number one kick-in taker thus far.
Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it, but no one's saying bring Nick Blakey into your team.
Mate, he wants a bit of a pod.
The only time you would bring Nick Blakey in is if he played St Kilda 3 or 4 times in the next run.
It's probably Hayden Young. I mean, seriously, out of these guys, it's probably Hayden Young. Yep. Sicily, maybe. Sicily's got Richmond this week. So it could be Sick Dog as well. Ed Richards has the bye next week.
Yeah, and I think Will Powell has one more week. So a lot of people in the chat are asking about Sexton as well, and it kind of folds in a little bit this question. If you're keen on upgrading and you don't have enough players, trade Sexton. He was supposed to get over 120, but I think some poor umpiring decisions and things like that made his scoring not great this week. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's still a fantastic player. In AFL fantasy, he would have scored second highest for Gold Coast.
Yeah.
So still a fantastic player, still really good. Just have to be careful that when Powell comes back, he will take Sexton's role and Sexton will be gone. So I think they've got one more week. So round 15, and then Sexton's out of your team regardless of what happens. So if you need coverage for round 15, get him in. If you don't worry about it.
Yeah. Gee, Ridley scoring 112.
Yep.
Playing accountable defending on QnA is actually unreal.
Yeah, I don't know what his intercepts and stuff are like, but looking at the stats, Ben Mccrae got 4 touches. So I feel like he was made accountable, and then Ridley was allowed to be that other defender. I don't know if you can pull up heat maps or what to actually show the amount of intercepts and what not he had from the game. But yeah, felt like Ridley was just left alone, and then when that happens, when you've got a decent back line, he just scores well.
Honestly, he had 22 touches, 9 marks, 1 free, 2 kick-ins only.
Yeah.
For a 112, 91% tog.
He just scored really well.
It's this 95%.
Oh, but he's always been that way. He's always been really good efficiency.
Jeez, Ridley, mate, I love this man. He is actually almost my favorite player at the Bombers. I call him immaculate every time he plays. He is just the great wall of Ridley. I love
Merritt
him.
took a kick out. Sure. Round
Yeah.
1, Zach Merritt took a kick out. That's hilarious. It's like
There it
Tim
is.
English. Pull up Tim English kick out stats.
Stuffy.
Jordan Ridley's fantastic. And he's one of those players. Like, I'll talk about Aiden Core in a minute, but Aiden Core's been playing really well. Similar to Ridley. When these players don't have to be like covering 5 other people, when the backline looks well, then they score really well. Similar to a Sicily, right? When they're just told, cool, you can do one job, you don't have to cover everybody. Fantastic. They score fantastic fast in Supercoach and they do well on field. So, yeah, good on you, Ridley.
And look at this heat map as well. It's disgusting. And yet he still scored a 112 playing up with on Curnow. Like, holy crap, Jordan Ridley is him.
Yeah, he's been scoring well, yeah.
Get in my team after you buy. This is my last.
Are you going to bring him in?
This is my last defender, I reckon.
You're going to
because
do it?
he's pretty cheap. He's 563.
What's Essendon's run? We're going to do a video on this show, maybe during the week because we've got the game on Friday. But what is Essendon's run next? Are they
West Coast?
Do they have defender? Do they have defender friendly teams?
I reckon West Coast will be good. I reckon Geelong should be okay if one of the big forwards is out.
Yeah.
Collingwood, I think, should be okay because we're going to have Mccrae as well, and he'll just be intercepting. Collingwood don't have a lot of tall targets. Melbourne, they got shit entries inside 50, so he can intercept like no one's business. Adelaide at Marvel, again, I think he likes playing at Marvel. St Kilda, their forward line isn't very potent. Freo at the G, could do okay there. Gold Coast at Marvel. Sydney at Marvel. We don't leave Victoria, baby, until the last round. So, no, I love it. I'm getting Rids in as my last defender next week.
If he wasn't on the bubble, like if he was still on the bubble, 100% could be a great pickup, but it's going to start getting tough to be able to bring that money in, man.
That's why I want to exactly like before he gets any more expensive. 560 is a pretty good price, I think, because everyone else. I mean, if we're filtering again by defenders,
even like Nazaya is like 540k or something. You know, he was around the mark. Bale was really cheap at one point. Elliot Yeo obviously was cheap. Like top forwards is
Jordan Clark is 580, 550 for Sinclair, 545. I mean, what's the difference between 545, 550, and 560? What, 10K? Yeah. I'm not gonna, but if I'm gonna get like an average of 128 as opposed to an average of a 103, I'd gladly pay that 10K. I think. Yes, I agree. Oh, sorry, at Atex. Hunter Clark, 352k on the bubble.
He's one that I've considered a little bit. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think Salem is better, and I think I don't trust his injuries. And why are you bringing in a guy that's averaging 93? Like, I think Cash Gen is kind of finished at this point, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. You're looking to finish your team, and he's not going to be a keeper premium.
What's his scores for this year? So 2 scores at 91. Like, there's some money to be made. St Kilda do have a bye next week, I think, though, which hurts. I personally wouldn't do it. But
I wouldn't go there. Yeah, I wouldn't go there. VC on Zorko, absolutely. Trav. Vela with the injury, Rob should be back. Agreed. Oscar is asking, does he trade to Camilla and Tom Green? It depends what you're going to get, I think.
Yeah, depends what you're going to get, what you get out of it, but then also what position your team's in at the moment. So myself, I've got 2 trades left and 11. So two spots left and 11 trades. So this week, potentially, I can sideways and not feel too bad about it. Especially with Tukamilla on the bye. Yeah, you can do it. Tom Green, similar thing with Tukamilla. Like, I think he's on my never again list at the moment, Joe. as much as I love the guy, and I think once I trade him, he'll start going big. I think he's on my never again list, and it just hurts. Yeah, it's not great.
26 disposals.
Yeah, but
4 marks,
it's
a
shit.
tackle.
It's shit. Like, it's 26 disposals of shit.
So disappointing.
And look at the week before, he went at 46%. Like,
6 tackles, 28 disposals.
This is not AFL like standard. Like, he would be playing at North Melbourne. And the problem with Tom Green, similar to Tuke Miller at the moment, problem with Tom Green is they're handball focused. So he's getting 26 disposals, but at least that week, half of them were kicks. The week before, 2/3 were handballs. Like, every week. It's crazy. I don't know what it is. I think maybe he's just quick to get rid of it. Maybe the rules don't work. Maybe he's not fit. Maybe something's happening. But yeah, he's just not scoring well, Joe.
He's
I don't
got
know if it's a
87% TOG and 85% TOG. So I can't say that he's not fit. He's clearly playing a lot of the game.
Yeah, like Joel is saying here, like, he's getting destroyed because Cogs is out, no other mids to help out. And I think that's probably a big contributor to it as well. So maybe these players come back, but Tom Green, like, for those people, right? If you're in a position like me where you want to go up the ranks, the fact that you've still got trades left over means that you can get that advantage. If you trade a Tom Green, if you trade a Tuke Miller, if you trade these players that maybe aren't the most well-performing players, you can actually get some decent people into your team and grab your Dunkleys or your Neils. Grab these players that are going to be good pods for you that hopefully end up scoring well for you for the rest of the season. Don't, like, this week, Tuke Miller barely scored a 60. Like, and that was after getting a goal. Like, these guys, these are the pods that are going to not make or break you, but these are the pods that are going to shoot you up the rankings, because half the competition in 2 weeks won't have trades to get rid of Tom Green. But you will have got rid of him, so you don't get the bad scores.
I don't have the trades to be able to do that, unfortunately. I'm stuck
exactly.
with him.
So it's the position of myself being able to do that and still finish their team, or someone like Joe who can't do that. Like, Joe's stuck with Tom Green's 50s and 60s and 80s, or Tuke Miller's 50s and 60s and 80s, versus me and Oscar here, who potentially could actually trade them out for better players. Like, it's the difference maker that's really going to make a big difference.
Go for it then. Harry Mules, all these Rucks are frauds. Give me TDK next week.
Mate, TDK, legitimately, TDK, I think, has a 3-round average of 130. Like, he has been bloody fantastic. If you had brought him in like a few people did in George's Discord, you would be laughing. Like, yeah, you would be laughing.
Yeah, he was the answer. Like, he was the guy that we just had no answer to against them. He was just unreal. He was their number 1 disposal getter on the night. 8 clearances. He's been unreal, but it's all without pits in it. He plays with pits in it and he goes to shit in it. So I don't know, man. You can't have. It's almost like Jackson, but to a more extreme degree. Because without Pitene, you can see him going bananas, and then with Pitene in the side, you just see what you get out of him. So
yeah,
if we hear news that Pitene is not going to play anymore for the rest of the year, then Tom DeConning, absolutely.
And I think I think TDK is just the future for them, and it says to basically where they're up to on the ladder as well, just how good this kid is.
Sure. Joel,
now,
up to 18th spot.
Joe, one player that needs recognition that I'm pretty sure Corey has in his team is Big Bodie Uland. Like, this guy's a bloody freak. Came into our Supercoach teams potentially into our teams at, I think it was 130K or so after a poor season last year. He just scored a 157. He's doing very, very well. Congratulations if you've got him in your team. That's my rant over, really. This kid's been fantastic for the price, and I think he's going to be making 400 plus K. So, yeah, not too bad there.
Can't wait for Zorko. Can't wait for Zorko VC against St Kilda. Well done, Joel.
Joel.
After
Congratulations.
8th on the ladder. Unreal. Raul, Walsh, or Oliver. Oliver starts putting up better numbers if Petrarca misses a few weeks. I think he does. He definitely worked way into the game more after Petrarca went out. That's for sure.
I don't know about Oliver. I don't like him. I think you wouldn't bring him in now anyway because he's got the bye round. But I think with Oliver especially, it is a case of the fitness, which has still been the problem. Like maybe he skims 10, 20 points off of Petrarca, but he just doesn't look proper. So, yeah, ever since kind of preseason and coming back and, getting injured and whatnot, his time on ground might be okay, but he just doesn't look great on field. He's sluggish, he's slow, maybe not that good of a footballer anymore. Maybe he needs a new club, I don't know. But, yeah, I wouldn't be spending $520K to bring in Oliver. That's all I'm going to say. I think there's better
He gave
players.
away a couple of stupid free kicks. This probably should have been over 100.
Yeah, but even the weeks when he doesn't give away stupid kicks, like it's not been great.
He would have turned up. He would have turned up if not for the 2 frees here. He would have turned up if not for the 3 frees here. Would have turned up.
Maybe it comes down a little bit to him for like a case of hey, if Melbourne are winning, then Oliver does really well. Because he's not had to be made like playing accountable. But Joel's saying, nah, who are we getting rid of? Are we getting rid of Oliver or whoever?
I'm agreeing with him saying that I reckon Oliver should perform probably better.
Okay. So you reckon Oliver's going to do better? So which one of those are you getting rid of? Are you getting rid of Raul? Are you getting rid of Walsh? Are you getting rid of Oliver? Who are you going to get rid of?
It's a tough one. If you have Took, get rid of Took instead of Raul. Who else is underperforming for you? I think Raul should be okay.
Took Miller can get in the bin. I don't know if you know about this little piece of news, Joe, but Caroline Wilson is saying Elliot Yeo potentially to North Melbourne after not signing not signing that big contract that he was given and when he got injured. So we'll see.
Get rid of Green. Joel, get rid of Green.
Yeah, Green is the worst out of those. And I'll get rid of Green and he'll score big and we'll all be happy, but I don't like it.
Already lost his cash. Yeah, I know, but it's all about the points at this point now, Joel. It's all about the points moving forward. Sports, I'm going with Zorko VC and maybe a Butters C. Oh, who did Port play this week?
Port played GWS.
Ooh. Port against GWS could be interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. What else is in it? What other matchups are there? I definitely think Zorko is a VC for sure. Marvel Stadium. I mean, Luke Ryan's back. Could get Luke Ryan going bananas.
I'll need to figure out a way to get Kruger into my team.
Port's playing at the Giants' home ground. I might just do Zorko into Ryan. Personally. What are we doing with Petrarca? You're waiting to see the extent of his injury and to see how many weeks he's missing. He is going to be on the bye this week anyway.
Yep.
So you're lucky. Exactly. He gets a week off to rest without missing any games. So wait out for Petrarca's injury news. Also go Zorko. Yeah, for sure. Zorko, if Bodie Hewland can go 150 on St Kilda.
And that's the big thing. Like Zorko's got a high break even, but he's playing the Saints, Joe.
What's his break even?
His break even, or something, I think.
187. He could hit that.
2% chance. 2% chance, Joe. It could happen.
It could really
happen. Yeah.
He could actually hit that. Is the crazy thing. Is Crew going to hold his spot? Look, Jen thinks that he will.
Yeah.
With the way Grundy is playing, might as well keep him for the rest of the season. And Avoid English like the plague. He
Yeah.
is crap.
Posed by Grundy, if you look at his matchup, I don't know if Joe can pull it up, but I think the next couple of teams he's actually playing don't have a ruckman. So I think
Who? Oh yeah, Grundy. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like Grundy's got Mickey Mouse matchup pretty hard.
Grundy's matchup to come is just ridiculous. I mean, he's got Adelaide,
who don't have a ruck, like unless thingy comes back.
Rob comes back this week. Back this week.
Cool.
But then
GWS, who give up a lot of points to opposition rucks. And then
SPG,
Sean Darcy's going to fall over, so he's not going to play that week.
Then he's got Rowan Marshmallow, and then he's playing at home again at the SCG. So yeah, he's got a pretty good run, Brody Grundy. Hold on to him. Don't trade in. Don't trade in this absolute beanpole fraud of a player who can't wait to get out of the Western Bulldogs. He's essentially just saying, "Put me out of my misery," and I wish I could trade him out. Honestly, this guy is—it's like disgusting. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. I hate him. Can we see your trades? I haven't actually done any yet, Freddie. I'm not entirely sure what I'll be doing. Maybe getting Dylan Moore, perhaps, in my forward line before his buy next week, before he gets any more expensive. Shields will tag Dacos. Probably. If Dacos plays.
Yes. Yeah.
Who's the ruckman to go to this week?
Oh, let's check it out. Which teams give up a lot of points to rucks, Joe?
Who do you have? You probably have Ned Moyle probably in your ruck line, I assume. Is that why you're asking?
Like a Jordan Sweet or maybe Conway?
Ruck.
Or could just have like Jackson and then looking to upgrade somewhere else. So St Kilda give up a lot of points to rucks. Hawthorn give up a lot of points to rucks. Geelong do as well. Port Adelaide do. I thought GWS would be a lot higher on this list because they always seem to give a lot of points up to rucks.
This is fantasy. This is fantasy.
No, that's very true. That's very true. So which team's playing St Kilda? Let's pull it up. St Kilda plays Brisbane. So Oscar, but I don't think Oscar's there. Hawthorn play. 1 second, Joe. Hawks play. If I can find a Hawks mid that's actually good. Richmond. So probably no one from that.
Nope.
Geelong play.
Geelong on the bye.
Well, Geelong have the bye, so that doesn't matter. And then Port Adelaide. Who are Port playing?
They're playing the Giants.
So
away.
Probably not. Who would you recommend then? Not those guys.
A ruckman to bring in. Bring in Grundy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would do Grundy. Grundy's fantastic.
If not Grundy, then Sherry.
Because if you look on the flip side, right, so these are the rucks that score a lot of points against opposition teams. But Grundy is the best neutralising ruck at the moment. So when Sydney plays opposition rucks, they'll generally score worse, which means Grundy will score better. So, yeah, that's what we've been seeing. Like, he'll score 140, and the opposition will score, like, 80 if they're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, true. I mean, what's Sherry been doing? Sherry's been so good.
I love Cherry. I'm going to start him next year, depending on what prices and stuff are like. Cherry has been fantastic.
He's been very good. And he's at 558K. So he's English price. He's actually more expensive. He is now more expensive than this piece of shawarma who makes me want to... I want to kill you. Is so annoying English.
How much is
Cherry is now more expensive. 584.
Yeah. No, that's fine. Get Grundy in. Grundy's still cheap.
English, you sack of shit. Honestly, like, you are a fraud of the highest caliber. Unbelievable. I hate it. I hate him. So, yeah, probably either Grundy or Sherry. I don't know. They're both playing unreal. And what a run by Sherry as well. Great pressure on Liam Ryan. That
Mate,
was a
did
great
you see
chase
that?
down.
He chased him down.
That was very impressive. Very impressive. Velo, Sim can play West Coast with only Yo in the midst. Won't get 70 against the Pies.
No,
Fair
no,
enough.
he won't.
Richard should be back, but he has a bye next week. Exactly. Yeah. So that's the issue. But even then, we sort of looked at his break even. It's not very low. It's not very hot. It's not very low. So you can always get him in after his bye. Should we trade Sexton this week with the bye?
You can have one more week. You can have one more week of Sexton.
Yeah, his break even still 51.
And he's got one more week without Powell in the team, which is probably the big thing. He'll have the role for one more week after this week. Then he's gone. And that's perfect because we need players who play around 14. So,
yeah.
It's not terrible.
Time Dpay is asking, are we going to see Jordy Payne soon?
It depends. I don't actually know how he went in the VFL. I think he did well. I think him and Teakle both went well. There's potential. There's definitely potential.
No.
I think Teakle comes in first, but yeah.
I know Sadal Hole should be getting a gig real soon.
Yeah.
4 goals,
Yeah, he'll play.
27 disposals, and our forward line is in a world of hurt at the moment. So 102k rookie mid defender Sard coming in, I reckon, for the Bombers. So get excited.
Big in you and got a corky, Joe.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Freaking. I need to see Richard's role with Libba back. Yeah, and that's another bonus to waiting a week without trading him in straight away. So his break even isn't low. You get to see how he plays with Libba in the side, and he has the bye next week. If he ticks the boxes, then you can get him in after his bye. Mariam, best defender options out of Houston and Clark. I like Clark probably more than Houston, I think. Jordan, Clark. His role is just a lot more defined than Houston's. Houston gets burnt a lot by his teammates. And he's in, Clark's an accumulator. 36 disposals, 35, 29. This one was a bad game where I think did they get smashed by the Swans in this game? Only the 16 touches, 25, 23, 24. And his scoring hasn't been bad. What's been his floor so far this season? 83, 63. That was the one bad game. Outside of that, 83, 84, with some quite nice ceiling games as well. So I personally like I like Jordan Clark. Houston is too much of a yo-yo for my liking, with a ridiculously high break even, as you've correctly identified.
Yeah,
he'll go 89, 107, 93. Look, he'll have a lot of these low 100 type scores. He's had 2 spike games, which has bolstered up his average. Otherwise, he's been sub 100 for the last 6 games. So for me, I like Jordan Clark more than Dan Houston. Should I go Took or Walsh to LDU?
I don't like Took. Took's out of my team.
Took can do what?
Get in the bin. He plays North Melbourne, right? He plays North Melbourne again. I think he plays West Coast and stuff again. So there's definite potential for the scoring there. It's just so frustrating. I wish I never brought him or Flanders into my team.
Not Flanders.
No, sorry, not Flanders. Sam Walsh.
Yeah.
I wish I'd never brought these players into my team because
look,
really
Sam Walsh is actually a really good player. We all know this. You don't become shit overnight. He's just
wrong. And it's frustrating as heck.
It's the disposal efficiency. Like, look at this. Since he's come in, 74, 80, 58, 61, 53, 55, 78, 53.
When's Cherry back? When's Cherry back? Because that's a big thing too. Sam Walsh is going to lose a lot of points.
Carlton.
Chera back in the team.
Chera 2 to 3. which is now down to 1-2.
So they've got the bye, and then Chera's potentially back next week. Like, it's a tough one, man. It's really tough.
Yeah, Took probably has a better run home.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Carlton also have a really easy run home as well.
I think more just like the bomb at long problem for them at the moment. I'll back 1 second.
Yeah. So maybe Walsh. Took has been very disappointing. What Green lost a lot of points for that free? Yes, he would. You lose points when you give away free kicks, Mark. It's obviously it's a massive problem because rather than getting a point for tackle, and if it's a hole in the ball, then he could get an effective disposal away. Instead, he's giving away points for free kicks against. So it's obviously massive change in momentum for his scoring. Should we trade Sexton? Nah, probably not. Lucky. Yeah, no. Big J will say don't do that. Kruger 3 goals against North. Yeah, that's what I think. If he can go 3 goals against Melbourne, he should go 3+ goals against North, surely. Jonas, Neil Bullen spanked Nicky Boy Dacos so badly he had to come off the ground with embarrassment. Yeah, man. He was, wow. That was a brutal tag. He could do next to nothing. It was unreal. Well done to Neil Bullen. That was unbelievable. Thoughts on Jackson Archer for a couple of weeks? Probably not Sim. Ricky Lowell with the Zorro. Good day, gents. Loaded up with 5 round 13 premiums. Hopefully tank this week. Set up a bit better than others for the next 2 weeks, hopefully. My midfielder Spuds, but only dropping 400 ranks to 1.5k. I consider myself lucky only scoring 1880. Well, 1880 and you're still at 1.5k. That is very impressive, Ricky. You should hopefully dominate the next 2 weeks. Do I trade Tom Brown or hold and trade him post his bye? Tom Brown. Always laugh. Always think of the reporter, Tom Brown. Tom Brown, 305. He's got the Hawks. Break even is still only 34. You'd probably hold him and trade him at the bye, Jen. I would do that. Dawson's Creek Jordan scored a 117. Dawson's Puddle scored 0 and was named the Spud of the Week. I like that. Yes, he was. Yes, he was, Joan. It's very unfortunate for everyone who traded him in. That would have been terrible. Yeah, I agree with you, Sim. I do like Frio's Jordan Clark a lot. Yeah, Errol Goulden is a machine, Rodney. He is a machine. 95% tog running through the midfield is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Like, defenders can have high time on ground if they're just, waltzing around defensive 50. But Errol Goulden, mate, he is a machine. And he did say that was one of his preseason tasks. His mission was to increase his time on ground, and that's what he's doing. Listen to Big Freddie, how's it going, bro? Listen to Big J. He can predict the future. He said he had a bad feeling about Will Dawson. Thank God I wasn't alive. There you go. He knows his boys very well. Sim, Jordan Clark plays both round 14, 15, whereas Geelong, yeah, correct. They still have their bye. Exactly. Maltesing. G'day, Maltesing. Congrats on your Pies winning today. Good evening, gents. Pies smashed it. Just got home from the game. Unreal today. Yeah, they're going to need all the luck they can get. You're going to smash them. They had their grand final last week. They won. They're going to fall off a cliff next week. Sim, I'm keeping Oliver and flicking Steel this week. Ooh. Flicking Steel. Interesting. Jack Steele. 103 break even. Let's have a look at how he's been going. What's been the problem? Let's look at more of those statistics in greater detail. Steele. He's got a 98 with 94% CBAs, 8 tackles, 20 touches. I mean, those are still good numbers. Sim. He's still getting the tackles going, which is supplementing his scoring. Look, I'd hold on to him especially with the Marvel Stadium run to come. So if I go back to him here, and I look at his Marvel run, it's coming. So after he plays the Lions at the Gabba, he goes Marvel, Adelaide Oval, Marvel. So I'm gonna have to take you off there. Boom. Look at this. Like, he's playing in pristine conditions basically every single week, apart from 2 games, apart from this week and round 18. Otherwise, he's literally playing under the roof every single week. So I'd probably still hold Steele, to be honest. I think he'll be okay moving forward. He's getting his tackles in, which goes to show that he's still doing okay from a health and fitness standpoint. Max. G'day, Max. Evening, lads. What are the downgrade options for this week? Well, I want to go Kruger. I want to go Kruger to cover Gawn in the buy in this buy round, because I think Kruger could kick a bag of goals against North Melbourne and do really well potentially. There's also Billy Dowling. You could go early on him again. He played really well on the weekend. Missed a lot of points by missing that shot on goal in the last quarter. Would have gone bananas if he scored it. He's got a negative 12 break even. But don't really think there are too many options from a downgrading perspective. Because Richards is injured. You're not going to get Menzies. Josh Sin is injured. Kruger's only played the 1 game, but I think he's got a favourable matchup against North coming up. Toby McMullen was the sub. You're not going to spend, I don't think, 157k for someone who has a lot of sub risk. Yeah, Lee Galier's already had his price rise. Sean Manor, is he ever going to get a gig? Probably not at this rate. Strawn got injured. He's not going to play. So, yeah, we're really strapped for options. But the good thing is, I think we're going to be getting some of these mid-season draft pick rookies actually get in and play. And like I said, I think Sadal Hole will play for Essendon. I think he's going to come. Obviously, we're on the bye, but I can totally see him coming off the bye, him playing. I do think Blight is also very likely to come in and play very soon for Richmond. Had a very good hit out in the VFL. So there are some names to come. Whether or not they get named this week is a different matter. But for me, I'm probably going to get where is he? There's Dowling as an option this week, and there's also Kruger as an option this week. Kruger is so needed whilst we have no bigs in the forward line. If he has a good game next week, then certainly in for games after the bye also. They're good to hear. If Lloyd Meek isn't back, Connor Nash is our ruckman. Jeez. Unless we play Ramsden, but Connor Nash and Weddle as our rucks aren't bad. They played so well. It was unbelievable.
Sorry, guys. I got kind of stuck. And sorry, apologies, Joe.
It's all right. You've come in a good time. Jay, g'day, Jay. He's asking thoughts on going Klahisi, Took, and Clary to Sinclair, Butter / Errol, and Dowling.
I like it. Do it.
He likes it. Jonas, Sinclair, the only good thing St Kilda has to offer. Oh, Nazaya Wanganeen Miller is also a good player, Jonas. We got to give him some credit.
He's a very good player.
Marshmallow ran out of gas and Moyle thrashed him in the last quarter. You did predict that Moyle would beat him in the end, and I think it came to pass. Clark this week or Holmes next week? No, I like Clark this week.
Yeah, I like Clark, and obviously he doesn't have a bye.
Exactly.
Well, so you get an extra game out of him in terms of scoring.
Exactly. Finn, VC and C options don't have Zorko. Okay. So if you don't have Zorko, get him in. I'm just Zorko. Look. Western Bulldogs, I think, give up points to halfbacks. Yep,
Yeah.
there they are. Western Bulldogs give up points. If you have Luke Ryan's an option. Against Richmond, if you have Will Day, I know it's unlikely, but I have been saying for the last 3 or 4 weeks that I really like the look of Will Day. If you have him in your mids, him against Richmond could go really well. Jordan Dawson did not train this week, managing that foot. So I wouldn't go with Jordan Dawson. How did Adelaide do it? What are the Swans? Adelaide give up points to Grundy. Defensive wingers. Could even be Goulden. Goulden could do well playing on a wing against the Crows. So maybe either a Grundy or a Goulden could do okay. Shazel against Collingwood. What did Collingwood
I think Sheezer will score well against everyone. The kid's just a freak.
Collingwood give up points to designated kickers. So if you have Fisher or Shazel, could do well there as well. And then Port versus the Giants. I think the Giants give up points to inside mids in recent times, have they? Oh, no, sorry. They've the opposite. They've been very restrictive against inside mids.
Yeah, that's probably one of the biggest strengths about their team is just
yeah.
Really.
So maybe not Butters.
No. Who are we looking at this week? Zorko, if you don't have him, obviously. I think Luke Ryan is good. Oh, I don't think a Sicily, if you've got him, there's no one from that Richmond Hawthorn game.
Yeah, Sicily against Richmond could do really well. They give up a lot of points to general defenders and designated kickers. So Sicily could have a very good game.
It's a weird one. It's one of those weeks that's really weird that there probably isn't that designated really good picks, which could end up being a good thing for us, I think. You could just go Bont. Like, people are saying just go Bont. Like Bont works. Bont is good every week.
I mean, who do the Dogs play again? The Dogs are playing Freo.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. You could do Bont. I mean, inside mids, Fremantle have been pretty restrictive.
Oh, no. So that's right. Yeah.
Against inside mids, but Bont is Bont. He did cop a very strong tag on the weekend though.
Yeah.
Which inhibited his scoring. Fremantle. Could Fremantle send someone to go with him? Maybe Hayden Young could play a defensive role on Bont at the stoppages. So that's why I'm not thinking Bont and Pelly. Clark or Ridley? I'd go Clark because he's going to play an extra game for you, which means he's going to get you more points just by virtue of him playing an extra game. Jackson, boys, God bless you too. Is it worth getting rid of Took for Mccrae to free up some cash?
No. Mccrae did not play on the weekend, I believe. And yeah, I just don't think he's there yet at the position. So a few more weeks of no Mccrae, I think, for us.
Why? Why is he still to be confirmed, Jez? What's going on?
Because he's got his foot issue, man. Like,
yeah, but tell us.
You don't know if it's a 1 week or if it's going to be 6 weeks or whatever. Yeah, like, how often does this thing update?
Every week.
Okay, well, there you go.
On Tuesday.
There you go.
Should I get rid of Tom Green, boys? Ask Bob the Builder. I have to keep him. I don't have enough trades, Bob.
It's a real question, and something that I'm pondering a bit this week is Tom Green or Tom Green out. I think there's merit for doing both, and I do think it's worthwhile really considering, hey, this is what I'm going to do with my side. So, I said before, right? Tom Green, similar to Tuke Miller, they're losing 30, 40, 50 points on other people's teams. And I don't think that, yes, their matchups might be good, but their teams, the ball's just going past them a little bit too much, I think. And that's kind of where they're suffering. And similar to a Joe, if you've got Tom Green or a Tuke Miller, you know the pain of like an Errol going big, or you know the pain of anyone who's quick. And I think the game's moving a little bit more towards that good contested player, but you have to be quick. And Tom Green and Tuke Miller just aren't those players anymore. And yeah, that's why they're dropping points compared to everyone else. So if you've got the spare trades and you've got the cash because it's going to cost you a bit, I would highly advise probably looking at doing it.
Should I do Mccrae to Dunkley if Mccrae isn't named this week?
It depends. They've got. I was just looking at it before. Brisbane had St Kilda, right? So I don't know who Windhager goes to this week. It's going to be a bit of a matchup if you pick the wrong one. Like Neil could go big, or Mccrae could go big, and end up locking down the wrong player. Something like I was saying before about. It now becomes matchups over the next few weeks. So who does James Jordan go to? Who does Essendon's players go to? Who do everyone go to? Taggers have come back into form a little bit, Joe. So,
they have.
Yeah, it's a real big question. Like, someone at Brisbane's getting tagged next week. Is it going to be Dunkley or is it going to be Lachie Neale? And I've got a sneaky suspicion it might be Lachie Neale, just because of how well he did last week. It's a tough one, man. You don't want to bring in the wrong guy.
Yeah, 635. Dunkley is 585. Look, 585 is still a pretty good price, I think. What's his run to come? How many games does he still have to play at home? He's got. So I just take away this comment for a second. Gabba, Aladavel Gabba, and Optus Gabba. Again, it's still Queensland humidity, so I'd almost consider that a home game as well. Away, Gabba. We also can't forget that he played for the Dogs for a long time, so Marvel Stadium is almost like a second home for him as well.
Yes. Yeah.
So he's got. So if you think of it that way, it's not terrible. No.
He's very
so I don't mind Dunkley.
Yeah. You just got to watch out. How many of those people tag, right? Let's go through the list. So St Kilda tag. Now Melbourne have figured out that they can tag. And the Adelaide tag, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but they wouldn't put Neil Bullen on Dunkley. They put Neil Bullen, who's a very good runner, to go with the running Dacos, I think. So I don't think they'd try and tag Dunkley.
You think Neil gets tagged and not Dunkley?
Potentially, yes.
Okay, cool. But I'm more just
Adelaide
saying, like,
won't tag him.
Yeah, they're more saying like the potential tags are there. Does West Coast tag? Do they tag on them?
No. Jimby actually, when Jimby tags you, you actually score more points. Jimby gives you a Jimby is we like the Jimby tag. He gives you a nice little. Good. The Jimby tag is very good. Sydney could send James Jordan to, but he's a big boy, Dunkley. He's a tough one to tag by James Jordan. Gold Coast won't tag. If he's popping off, then they might send Windhager to him. Don't think the Giants would tag. The last time they did, they sent Ward to Neil, and it worked. So they might do that again. Collingwood won't tag, and Essendon. We don't have any big bodies that would tag. So I reckon he should be fine there as well. So I think Dunkley could do well.
Do you think he scores more over the next run than what Neil does at a more expensive price?
Well, Neil is going to be the one who cops the attention, I think.
You reckon?
Well, the Giants did it and it worked. So I wouldn't, and it was Neil that popped off the most last week. So I think, and Neil is the captain. Neil has a lot of things going his way. You know what I mean? So I think Neil is the one who's going to cop more attention than Dunkley moving forward, for sure. which I think means Dunkley will score more points than Neil going into the season. He's also in the prime of his career, whereas Lachie Neale is 31 years old.
Yeah, no, that's true. But Lachie Neale did score a 160 or something.
He did score very well, but it just felt like he did so much. To only score that much feels a little bit, almost feels a bit unders compared to for what he did. If we look at his output, he doesn't have that Bontempelli multiplier. You know what I mean? Like,
no.
What did he score? He had 38 disposals at 84 efficiency, 6 marks, 2 tackles, 2 goals for 134. Like if this was Bontempelli, this 134 is almost like a 170, 180.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He does have 2 160s in there as well. So, like.
Yeah, but again, 36 disposals, 11 marks. That's ridiculous. That's not sustainable. And this one, he had 34 and 9 with 8 tackles. So yeah, I think Dunkley's clear personally.
Okay.
How many players in your side will have to rage trade if you had a few extra trades?
Too many.
This one, stuff for you. This one, stuff you. This one, stuff you. This one, this one. That's about it, I think.
Jake Rogers.
Half the team would get in the bin if I was playing fantasy, but I'm not.
One of the big problems as well for a lot of our teams, Joe and I, and a lot of you guys watching, is we've got the bigger Newans now, and we've got the Hugo Garcias, and I've got Reed, and Joe has Hall, and a few of these other players, and it's those cash gens that we wish we could just offload and actually get something out of that would be worthwhile. Like these players that are never coming back for the rest of the season, that are just holding up our teams that really suck.
So annoying. James, who are the top 6 forwards this year? It's the only position I need to finish. Okay. Heaney, Flanders, Zorko, Rankin.
Yeah, Rankin's one that you needed, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, Rankin, Moore.
I don't mind
and Fisher.
Yeah.
Those are your top 6. And your 6th one, sorry, is that 5?
No, that was 6.
That's 6, yeah. There's your top 6.
And then you do have your other kind of potty type picks, like a Luke Jackson or a Waterman, or I really like Waterman, or a Mccrae, Charlie Curnow type as well. I know a few people are going around them, but maybe not this year. It's funny because in previous years, like your big Carlton people are the ones that have scored a lot in Supercoach because like they're just really good players. But the issue's been for Carlton is that it's been kicked to the tools. So now that they're winning a lot more, it's turned off kick to the tools, which means in Supercoach they're not scoring as much as what they probably would be normally. It's all the mediums in the midfields and stuff that are kicking goals instead. So yeah, a bit of a conundrum for these people who are picking these type of players.
Well, their run home is really favourable. They had a tough start, which I think means that they're going to end the season with a lot easier matchups. So I think these two guys could score really well moving forward. That's for sure. Could you sideways Walsh for Errol?
Yes,
you could, but should you? Like, are you going to get this Errol every week?
No, you're not.
You know what I mean?
You're not going to get 95% time on ground Errol. You could. Could be post.
Yeah, 97. Like, he's a machine. He is a machine for sure. 27 touches, 37 disposals, 8 marks, 5 tackles, a goal. Yeah, 37 disposals on a wing. 37 disposals, but he's a machine. So maybe he could. If anyone could do it, I did say it last week. If anyone could go bananas on a wing, it's Gordon. Because he's a gun, he's a jet, and he has ridiculous time on ground endurance. You probably could. Is it going to be beneficial? I think it could, because he's going to play one extra game from here on out, whereas Walsh has got the bye this week. Errol already had his bye.
Yep.
North Docs don't have a clue. That's why Kobe's to be confirmed every week, lol.
Well, yeah, I think there's a lot of teams that are like that as well, right? It's just, sometimes you don't know. Like, puts are really, like, you can kind of say, cool, a hammy doesn't take that long to repair. You kind of have a fair idea of those kind of things. Whereas foots, I think, just the nature of being on your feet all the time, like, you have to be really, really, really careful. And these things, like you say, cool, yep, no, you're fine. And then the next day, no, not fine. So it's really hard to kind of gauge. That's why foot injuries are always like, oh shit, you got a foot injury versus, yeah, he just did his calf or did his hammy or whatever.
Today, actually, boys, is Zorko a must get for St Kilda, but he has a huge break even, or is it worth the wait? Look,
there's potential that he actually outscores his break even, which is hilarious. But yeah. Look, he's not a must-have, but yeah. He's close.
Look at that.
He's close.
Is he? Look, I think he'll be. He's definitely top 3 forward.
Yeah,
because he's playing in the back line, taking kick-ins, good disposal efficiency, great kick-to-handball ratio. Sort of saw what Bodie Hewlin did, what a lot of people are scoring a lot on St Kilda coming out of the back line. The St Kilda are the worst. Now, having said that, we were all super excited waiting for Luke Ryan to play against him, and we were anticipating a monster score against him. It didn't come. He had a good score, but it wasn't the monster score that we were hoping that we were going to get. So some of these premiums that we're anticipating to go bananas don't go bananas. And it's the weird random ones that do pop off. Now, having said that, Flanders went 150 plus, and Bodie Hewland also scored massive as well. This game is being played at the Gabba against the team that is conceding a lot of points to halfbacks. If there was ever a game that you want the big score, it could come from a Zorko, and he plays early in the week, so he could be a great VC as well, is the thing. So
I think there's something
personally think it's worth it.
Yeah, I totally agree, Joe. I think there's something also to be said about teams who are pushing for finals, and that's the position that Brisbane's in post-bye. Like, Fagan wants to make finals again. Fagan wants them to win. He wants them to do really well. I mean, the fans, obviously, and everyone else do as well. But these players, and Zorko being the age he is, probably only got 2 years left of AFL. So he will be busting his guts every week, which means better scoring on the field. Yeah. And we've seen it. He gets relegated to the forward line and then has 60-point quarters. Like, that could happen every week. So, yeah. He's a good player.
Exactly. Fellow Joe, did Essendon Sard come off flat with a leg issue? He did. He had an ankle thing. He had some ice applied to that ankle during the last quarter. But after the game, he was walking around with no ice out on the ground, celebrating the win with the boys, and he didn't have any ice on his ankle. So it looked like he was okay. He's recovered well. We've got the bye this week anyway. So if he was already off the ice at the end of the game, walking around freely with the bye that we've got this week, I think he should be fine to come in the following week. So I'm pretty optimistic, and the form that he's been showing in the VFL has been very, very good. So I think he's ready made to go, and I'm quite confident he plays off the bye against West Coast. Durham could go to Neil. Exactly. Durham is that Durham dynamic mover. Not a very big body, but he's a dynamic mover. Setterfield definitely more of the type to do so, but Setterfield has now re-injured that pesky knee that had him sidelined for so long. So Setterfield doesn't get a game. with Parrish in the team as well. So Setterfield is just pure depth for us at the moment, and I can't see him playing a game to tag. I think we're going to go head-to-head with our system more often, and if anyone gets a defensive role, it might be Caldwell or Durham. I don't think Setterfield comes back anytime soon now.
Yeah.
Lefan is asking if there are any good cheap mids to bring in.
Good and cheap doesn't often. How cheap are we talking? Are we talking sub 500K? Or are we talking 520K? Let's go like 520K, Joe, and then down, or what?
Sure. Probably no less than 400, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So 400 to 520?
Yeah. Cheap, good mids. All right. Rory Laird is good and cheap. Nick Martin, I still like, even though he's been crappy with the ball recently. Carl Amon has definitely come into favour. He's someone to watch out for. Elliot Yeo with the 107 average. I think he would be close to one of the highest averages here alongside Took Miller. I don't think you would pick Newcomb. No one's picking McCluggage.
Massimo?
Yeah, potentially Massimo. I've actually seen some people with Lipinski in their forward line as well.
Yeah,
he is averaging, not the best, but 95 3-round average is not terrible. Anyone else, Joe?
I do like Pat Lip. He played a wonderful game today as well. He just bobs up and is quite clean with ball, I feel, in tight, like in terms of the gathering. And then when he comes to dispose of it, it all falls apart. But he's very clean on the pickup. It's just in the decision making, he sort of just blazes away, which is obviously very disappointing for him because that is naturally going to limit the type of scoring that we're going to get from him. But the last 3 weeks has been pretty good without chipping in with a goal a game. But yeah. In the forward line, we got slim pickings in the forward line. So that's
Will Day. How much is Will Day?
Will Day is not in this price point anymore, unfortunately. Will Day is not in that price point, unfortunately. He's at 571K
Will
now.
Day is expensive. He's more expensive than Errol Goulden now, unfortunately.
Yeah, 3-round average of 120.
We'll do that. We'll do that for you, won't it?
You know what I mean? Like, sort of saw it coming like a month ago, but didn't pick him because I wasn't entirely sure what sort of average he's going to get me throughout the whole season. But the Hawks, he's been a major reason why the Hawks are playing so well. He's just been unreal in that midfield. If you can afford Will Day, then obviously you can afford a lot of other players, is the thing. If we take out Day. If you're talking 570K in the mids or 580K, that's not really cheap anymore. If you want maybe 550K in the midfield, Ed Richards, but you probably want to look and see what his role is like with Wibber in the team.
Yeah, I really like Will Day. Will Day.
Hayden Young is sub 550K. Hayden Young, he's got DPP. Jack Steele, but he's got the buy next week. He's pretty cheap. They're really the only two. You could have gone Laird, but Laird wasn't that great. So, I don't know. It's a bit weird. Maltesing only need to do 2 trades this week. We'll have 21 playing, and week 15 we'll also have 21. Well done, Maltesing.
Nice work.
Buy is looking good.
Must have survived not having the crappy rookies like Joe and I have had.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, Will Day he's a star, Will Day. Theo, g'day, Theo. Trades are Heaney and Dowling and Justin McInerney.
Okay.
Out Klahisi, McGovern, Adams. 2 upgrades, 6 trades. Justin McInerney.
Yeah.
That's
where's
that
Titanic gif of the old lady That's not a name I've heard in 85 years. That's
422,000. 422,800. Why? Why, Theo, are we looking at Justin McInerney? Look, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong. 107.94 the last 2 weeks. Attending some CBAs as he has all year. Fluctuating. 24 disposals, 20 disposals, 16 disposals. Jeez, what is this heat map? He's a winger. He's a winger. That is a winger. And he has no forward status. Wait, he does? Forward mid. Yeah, all right. So getting McInerney for your forward line. Okay. Interesting. Pod move. I like it. I hope it works out for you, bro. Interesting. Essen done. Joe's playing like it's 19. Jeez. I tip you guys to win, Jonas. You were the favourites to win. Quite comfortably as well. And also, just for your viewing, mate, let me just sort of put this down the side here. The final expected scores were we were expected to score 94. You were expected to score 85.
Yeah,
based
Nick
on
Martin
kicking accuracy, exactly. Based on goal kicking accuracy, on average, from where we've taken our shots, you guys outperformed your expected in terms of where your shots were from, and we significantly underperformed our expected. So if the game went as expected, we would have beaten you. Okay? So congratulations. You won this game. You played very well. You deserve to win. But I am not going to be crying over this game. I thought we showed a lot. We definitely have upside with the players that we still to come back into the team. And you guys were very clinical in front of the big sticks, which is what you have to be. We saw that from Collingwood today. So bad kicking is bad football. It was very infuriating on the night watching us play, especially that third quarter. I was tearing my hair out in that third quarter. But after the game, next day, there's a lot that we can work with. Plus 20 in inside 50s against your boys is a very prominent thing. So I'm not disappointed. I'm annoyed, but I'm not disappointed. We have room to improve. So congratulations, Jonas. But I'm not upset. Neil had 38 touches and only one score involvement. Wow. Maltese agree with Joe about lip, cute looking bloke, and good fashion sense makes up for bad disposal.
I wonder what Nick Martin's problem is then, because doesn't have many of these things going on.
I love it, Maltesing. Benji's asking what rookies are we trading in?
There's two currently that, well, technically, no, I think West Coast have the bye, right? So there's two currently that you could bring into your team this week. That is Billy Dowling, who has his bye next week, and Kruger, who also has the bye next week. They were two that potentially ones that you're supposed to be looking at. The rest, not so much at the moment. Yep. So, yeah.
Connor Rosie, he is not a rookie, Dibber, but yeah, Rosie's a good one to trade in, I think. You're right.
I'm really wary of Connor Rosie. I think this year we're going to have a few players around the mark for him. People would have got Bailey Dale at 400K. People would have got Salem around that mark as well. You're going to get Colby McKercher around that mark too. Connor Rosie just keeps getting injured. So yes, he might be a fantastic player, but when we're going to have limited trades over the next couple of weeks, I don't know if I want to actually bring Connor Rosie into my team. He's not cheap by any stretch of the means.
Well, he's 466 now.
He's the same. He's more expensive almost more expensive than Tom Green.
Yep.
Like, if he was 300K, sure. I understand. 300K, put him in your team, no worries. I just can't do it. And I would not be advising anyone to do it. He's one stomp on the foot away from being out for another 3 weeks. Like, yeah.
Look, if he scores 88 this week, he drops to 424.
Yeah.
Is that not cheap enough, you reckon, for a depth player on the bench?
No. I think a lot of us are still trying to finish out. A lot of us are still trying to finish our teams. That I don't know if we're going to bring a Connor Rosie in. That's anything.
Fair enough. Burgeroo's asking thoughts on Darcy Tucker.
No, he's an okay player, but in terms of Supercoach, that's a no. No thanks.
Yeah. That's why I don't mind it. McInerney's a great player. Look, if Sydney are going to continue to do what they're doing, which we think they will, then he could be a pod pick that ends up working well. Oh my God, 99, that was 24 years ago. I know. Jonas is still loves to live in the past, Maltese. He likes to tease us about 1999. I don't tease him about last year, when we just beat them last time we played. Hey, Joe, 100%. Essendon Melbourne won't kick more behinds and goals this week. Finally, on the bye. Thank God, Velo. It won't happen. Yeah, Joe, I'm used to Carlton butchering in front of golf, mate. It's just our turn now. And it all changed ever since the media started talking about, Essendon, they're being so accurate in front of the big sticks. Ever since that moment, we've gone to shit. It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Orange Juice 321. Thoughts on Hunter Clark? He's a no-go for us, Orange Juice.
Yeah.
Legend Bulldogs were getting destroyed in the midfield, and Bevo waited until the game was over to put Mccrae in good in there.
Yep, and that's probably why he's going to go to another club at the end of the year. Eventually, it's got to stop happening. So, yeah.
Correct. Marcus is asking, is it worthwhile to bring Salem in? Not while he's on the bubble. Not on the bye, I mean.
No.
Is McMuffin worth a look?
Not on the bye. Next week. Next week, you can get him.
Look, McMuffin actually played all right when he got on the ground. I'll give him that. But he could be sub again. And if you're sub once, it just opens you up to being the sub again. So
every week. And I think as GWS just keep getting stronger and stronger, obviously, had the bye and whatnot, but yeah, it's like who got injured? Probably no one that takes McMuffin out of the team. Yeah,
correct.
No, I don't like him.
50 Supercoach points, 24% time on ground.
He almost scored more than Tuke Miller this week.
With 5 disposals, 5 tackles. Like, bloody hell. That's very impressive. Issa, Taranto. Just Taranto. That's all she has to say, Taranto. Yeah, look, I said last week Taranto would be pretty good. Obviously now we're closer to the bye round. So that means you're going to get... So if you traded him in last week, you would have obviously got his points. What did he end up scoring last week? 105.
105, yeah.
Not too bad for a first outing in a long time. 105 away in a hostile environment. We've got the Hawks this week before the bye. His break-even's still pretty high, isn't it? 132. Yeah.
Yep.
You can wait on Toronto. 560K, still pretty expensive as well. No, I wouldn't go there anymore.
No, he's finished.
He's finished.
How
many have you guys got playing this week? Oh. Look, I haven't sorted out my trades yet. I'm going to have to think about it. I've sort of just been...
Currently not enough.
Currently not enough? Is it? Really?
Yeah, maybe. Do you have enough?
Currently at the moment is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Okay, cool. You do have enough. Oh, that's easy then. Maybe I don't. Maybe I'm the one that doesn't have enough.
Yeah, see, I've already got 19 without having to do any trades get around me. And then maybe Rogers can get stuffed because he's
Trade to a
shit.
Dowling or something.
And then
Even get rid of Big and Ewan this week, Joe. You can
get Revel. Oh wait, I don't have to do that because what's his face? Isn't what's his name? Kruger.
Yeah. Forward
He's
status.
forward ruck.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Kruger. Very nice. I love it. Kruger in the team. And then could trade out Sexton this week. I don't have a lot of money on my bench is the problem. Like Richards was supposed to make me more money. So
if I had your team, I would almost look to get rid of like a Big and Ewan or something and see if you can upgrade somewhere else. Like maybe just a bench clean out or something. Put in Dowling and then go from there, really. Do you have a DPP, though? I don't think you will. That's the only issue.
There have to be I still need a defender.
Yeah. You can move like a Fisher. I know you've got Fisher there. Okay, cool. Yeah. Yeah, because Fisher can go to the forward line anyway, so that works for you.
I can't afford Jordan Clark, unfortunately, which would have been
the right.
Probably.
You get Hayden Young. Bring back the Hayden Young master again.
Hayden Young master. Players I can afford.
Bailey Dale. Yeah. Hey, Hayden Young. Let's go. Make it happen. Ed Richards would be all right too.
You know what? Do I need Billy Dowling? He's going to be on the sub. He's going to be.
Yeah, but he's going to score well this week. So
will he?
Potentially, he scored well last week.
Yeah, doesn't mean he's automatically going to score well this week. He could be dropped if Rankin is back this week, couldn't he?
Nah, there's no way after that performance he gets dropped. They're going to drop half the other team first before Dowling gets. Like Dowling looks good. He scored 63 off 70% game time and kicked a goal. Like, there's no way they're going to get rid of him.
I could get Moore. Moore's got Richmond this week, so Moore could do really well. I have to trade in a defender. And I reckon I could get my boy.
He won't play this week, though, will he?
No, he won't. But whoever I get in, no one's playing in defense anyway this week.
I reckon Burgess could play this week. That's the feeling.
Who's Burgess in defense?
From Richmond, the 102K rookie, Jack Burgess.
Jack Burgess or Blight?
Sorry, Blight. Yeah, sorry, my mistake.
I'm like, who the fish is Burgess? Like,
oh God, Burgess on my mind.
He plays this week and then misses next week.
That's fine. That's all you want. What else do you want, Joe?
All right, say we play Blight. Say Blight plays. We do a bit of a clean out on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Let's optimize. All right, team has been optimized. Show the buys.
Right. Richmond's going off with these Dusty 300 talk, aren't they?
All right, Zorko for sure, the VC. Okay, so as you can see, I've got a full back line. That's why I'm saying, do I need Blight if I have a full back line playing?
Yep.
No, I don't. And so that's 6 plus 8 is 14. 20. Wait, seriously? Wait, what? 6 plus
21.
8 is 14. 16
21.
plus 5 is 21?
21.
I'm not going to get Blight.
No, but the problem is, like, Sard might be a better pick, but Sard has the bye, and you can always use Sard to downgrade. Like, I think Sullivan and potentially Richards and a few others have to go next week. So there's going to be downgrade options.
Yeah.
Like, you might as well get someone in who's potentially playing now than not later.
But yeah, true. So that's my team. So backline's finished, and then for all in. Oh wait, Zorko's should be in the forward line. And then
let me just go through some of these questions. Blah blah
Comes
blah.
on.
Velo's up next. North Melbourne next year. LDU, Yo, Mccrae, Wardlaw, Sheasel. It's not bad, hey. One of the big things, I think I saw something today that was like LDU, Wardlaw, McCurcher, Sheasel, and potentially Josh Smiley at pick 1 as well. Like, Joe, if your starting midfield were all top 5 picks, you'd be pretty happy, right?
No shit. No shit, Sherlock. Why wouldn't he be happy with that?
That potentially could be North Melbourne's next year. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there.
Yeah, but you know what would have been better? You know what would have been better?
Oh, you're gonna say Harley Reid.
LDU, Wardlaw, Sheasel, Harley Reid, Jason Horne-Francis.
yeah. Nah, fair enough. That's all right. We'll take Wardlaw.
I'm kidding.
We couldn't have Wardlaw without. I don't think we would have got Wardlaw maybe, but that's all right. Peating is good. Let me just quickly check. I don't know if he's Supercoach relevant though.
So yeah,
James Peating.
I still need 2 forwards. I still need 2 forwards with 6 trades. So
yeah, I like Peating, but in Supercoach it's a no from me.
Yeah, it's looking dicey. Hopefully, Sullivan and Fraser can hopefully get me someone good. And hopefully McAuliffe or Revel and McNeil or Revel and McAuliffe can get me someone else there. Would leave me with a finished team and 2 trades left for the rest of the season. So that's the state of play at my team, which is very rough. 2 trades left whilst holding Green, whilst holding Took, whilst holding Rao and Whitfield.
And Whitfield.
It's been a horror. It's been a horror season. It's been a horror season.
What to do with Comben? So if I quickly check out Comben, we'll bust through these and then we can head off after this.
Yeah, sure.
Comben 93 break even. Look, you can probably trade him if you want to. If you need the coverage through the buys, though, he's not a bad pick. They're a big thing. Velo, trade Biggie or Hoare. I would trade Biggie because I don't think he's ever coming back, and Hoare has a very slight chance of coming back. Biggie's also more expensive, which means you can generally get a better player out of Biggie. Diajar? I've got to work out how to say that. That's a cool name. Is Rankin back this week? The club has said Jordan Dawson didn't train, so I don't think he's going to be that great, but Rankin should be back this week.
Channel 7 News Adelaide.
Yeah.
Isaac Rankin said that he was good to go. So
there you go.
Sounds good for Rankin.
Bring in Sard in defense. Do you think there's a spot for Sard to play in the team, Joe?
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. So if we can get him in now as a downgrade option, then we just wait for him to come in, basically, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Should I keep Stewart or trade him out after the bye? Yes, Stewart. What's Stewart's break even? Is he going to drop in cash further than he is? Or is he going to be okay?
I think it's pretty high from memory.
122.
Yeah.
So he's got the bye. Look, you can trade him if you want to. If there's a player that you can get in at around like with 50k more or 60k or 70k more, I don't see him going back to primo level status scoring.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Will Fisher score well with Colby back? Yes. I don't think he's going to worry too much. Will McCurcher play this week? No, I don't believe so. He's still got foot issues, hasn't trained or anything like that. So I don't think he's coming back. Maltesing LDU is not coming to the Pies. He's going to stay at North Melbourne, hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, that's probably my thoughts at the moment. Rankin has the bye the following week.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Rankin is also cheap. So I don't want to end up with another Zorko situation where I said, cool, I'll get him after the buys, and then had to pay 50K more. So it's really something to consider there. Thoughts on these trades, Joe? Rogers to Payne, Sexton to Blight, and Moyle to Dunkley via DPP. Personally,
Yeah, I
I
like
probably would
Dunkley.
go Payne. I think Sard might be a better pick if he's in your midfield, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, he's mid defense DPP Sard, which makes him even that much better. So yeah, get Sard in. Time DP. Does McNeil play again? Look, I think they've got injuries. I think the big one for them is Waitman. Cody Waitman's still out for another 1 to 3 at this point. So hopefully he can hold his spot in that as a small forward. If he does, he's unfortunately likely to be the sub. Is most likely going to happen. Julian, last upgrade. Do you think I bring in Zorko, Neal, Dunks, Golden, or Clark for your last upgrade?
Nice. I don't mind Zorko. I think Zorko. Oh, are you talking about like your forward line's done? If your forward line's done and you're looking for a midfielder, I'm not quite sure. I think DPP is a bit crazy this year. Zorko I like, Neil I like, Dunkley I like. I think the Brisbane team's really good. Goulden's fantastic, but he's only really averaging around 100. Like there's games that are monster and then there's games that are not. And I don't know if it's being outweighed by it, so probably not him. Zorko, Neil, probably Neil or Dunks. One of those two. It's up to you, really. What they're going to get tagged, which is the big issue.
Yeah, I think Dunkley will probably be the least likely to get tagged out of all those guys. Thanks, Brody. You're welcome. We're going to get inside next week. I think I'll be doing that too, Jono. I'll have 20 playing this week. Very nice. Jonas, Will Dawson's puddle couldn't get a kick at Shorty's goal kicking competition.
Why not?
You love to see it. And on that note, fellas, it's been 2 hours and 17 minutes. Thank you all so much for joining us once again on yet another Monday night live stream. If you liked the potty, if you liked the video today, the live stream, please drop us a like. Subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any of the content that we're pumping out. We've got the live streams every Monday, 7:30, as you're aware, as well as Thursday, 5:30 for the drive home. No more Thursday night footy, so we will be having it a lot easier, I think, from here on out, Jez.
Yeah, I know, right? Not have to be like, cool, guys, it's 7:30. See you later. The game's on next. We've got a lot of content coming out this week, kind of springing this on Joe, but I think there's some real stuff and some good information coming out of the VFL, including these MSD players, how well they're doing, things like that. We're going to have our captaincy video. We're going to have our break-evens video, something we've been slacking on a little bit over the last couple of weeks, but we'll make sure those are out. Big J is going to do a team review at some point as well, so that's going to be fantastic. And go North Melbourne. I know a lot of you guys watch us in the chat. Mate, that win, join the chorus, was really good on the weekend. So very, very happy. Yes, Velo, it's going to happen. Yes, done. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. What's this? More teasing. 4-hour show on Thursday?
Mate, well, we're going to have special guests and like all sorts going. I got to sleep at some point, yeah?
Yeah, mate. Sleep. You can sleep. You can sleep when you're dead. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you all in the next one, because here at the Centre Bounce, we do the hard work so that you guys don't have to.
Hope you had a good week in Supercoach. Go Roos. See you next week.
Calm it down.